Now I just realized we are guaranteed a new champion this week.
True. Again, so for the people that are just joining us for the first time, typically when it comes to our champions, we've had players like Björn, Keen, Nightmare, Trigger, Art, Mira. These are the kind of players, these are kind of champions that we've had. But this week, it's going to be someone new. Maybe someone who walks that royal road.
Yeah, the only road that they've ever known. I know we don't have 2,000 atmospheres anymore, but... Anyway, we're gonna be jumping straight into this best of 5 grand finals here of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 23. We're here in the bottom right hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right hand corner of Moondance. We of course have our red Terran player coming down from the land of Russia. He is going to be representing Storm Gaming. He is kind of a... I thought Azure had really good TvP, and he does. Nicoract is looking to be matching that, and I kind of spoiled the name already by saying it on hand. He's Nicoract!
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Moondance, we have the Polish Protoss player himself representing Infernales Esports. He's walking that royal road. It is PAPI.
Not purple this time, unfortunately.
Yeah,
not
not
have that alliteration.
Not purple, not pink. I a little bit of feels bad, man. But I love to
Still
see
Polish
that.
and Protoss and a player, but
I also appreciate that at least here in Europe, he does have that Infernales clan tag.
yeah, that whole... I was told that it's meant to be a golem. Every time I look at it, I just see a gorilla.
I was about to say it's like an ape. Yes.
Yeah.
It's an ape golem. Yes. Oh, God. But yeah, I wonder if that's indicative of his play here as we are diving on in. We were able to glean a little bit of Nicoract's TvP earlier against Arrowfire. I'm sure PAPI was tuning into the stream. I'm sure he was studying his opponent. And this is something that happened in that previous series where Nicoract, he sneaks on in and PAPI checks!
And he will be able to prevent the bunker from being thrown down. So again, not the biggest of deals, but it is something that you can utilize as a Terran player to kind of keep your Protoss opponent on their toes.
Yeah, it's just to get a little bit of an early lead, right? It forces a little bit of inefficiency. It forces a shield battery to be made early on when they don't necessarily want one. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, I want to give a massive shout out to Logic in the chat. Thank you so much for subscribing for 6 months. Thank you, PAPI. Thank you. We appreciate it. Quack.
Quack.
I'm not doing this. I heard the pause.
Look, 1 quack counts for 3 quacks. That's the exchange rate.
There you go. Meanwhile, the first Reaper sneaks into the main base, gets 1 probe for his troubles, and will be able to sneak the hell out of there. Meanwhile, looking at the vision, he was able to see the tech of choice is going to be a Stargate.
Yeah, nice and standard nowadays for PvT. Nicoract going to be responding in kind. I wonder if he's going to be getting a Cyclone or not this time. Or if he just sticks to his Hellion style.
Yeah, I mean, he scouted the Stargate, so it would make sense for him to go for a Cyclone first, just to be safe. So again, he will have that ready because he was able to get that scout off, so everything's looking pretty standard from the side of the Terran. Yeah, nothing too crazy, aside from the fact that PAPI's being a little bit greedy here, and he goes straight into that Robo.
Very greedy choice of tech right now after opening up with the Stargate like that. PAPI is not going to have too many units out for a little while, but, if Nicoract doesn't play too aggressive, if he does give PAPI some time, this lends itself very well to a Colossus transition.
Yeah, I was about to say, are you feeling a very fast Robotics Bay? Once again, we'll see as we have a revelation across map. Reaper gets into the natural, but looking at the vision, he does see the Robo.
He is well aware of what PAPI is looking to go for.
Yeah, exclamation mark Funada, this 1 weakened probe. The probe was trying to escape the Reaper, and it dragged the Reaper into vision of the Robo. So, was it worth it?
I mean, the probe lived.
the probe did live, I guess. What's also important is that I think PAPI knows that he got scattered, so he's making the choice here to go into Immortal first, to play it safe, to actually have a unit to defend, or more units to defend. He can still go into a fast robotics bay from here, but at least Nicoract is aware, once again, of the tech.
Yeah, and immediately, because of that, he's getting more Vikings than necessary to deal with an Oracle, is what I'll say.
Yeah, exactly. The Vikings will definitely...
The boys!
Let's go. Oh my god, he's like the Honmono of the European scene. Let's go. Unfortunately, this revelation will reveal the boys, so PAPI knows that the push is coming. He's trying to get ready back at home. Unfortunately, he won't have a Colossus to deal with this. He will have a shield battery, he will have an overcharge, and a handful of force fields.
Yeah, unfortunately not enough, I don't think, to be able to split up these forces, but hey, you know, the Protoss army gets on top of one of the tanks and does take it out immediately. Very, very isolated position over there. 2 Immortals are now out, and this is more than enough for PAPI to chase his Terran army back.
100%. I feel like Nicoract was bamboozled. I don't think he was anticipating Immortals. I'm sure he was hoping that we were going to be seeing a Bay, that we were going to be seeing a delayed Colossi. That's why we had Vikings for all things. The Vikings were useless there. There was just nothing to shoot, and as a result, Nicoract is forced to turn around, and he lost so many workers.
An insane amount of workers. I mean, a 3rd base was never on his mind.
Yeah.
This was meant to be a 2-base push that will, at the very least, cripple PAPI, but now, who crippled whomst is the question.
Yes, exactly. Nicoract crippled himself there. Again, he was anticipating Colossi. There wasn't any. Great target fire with these Immortals on those tanks to just shut him down. We saw that Nicoract was desperately trying to repair them, but he just couldn't out-heal that damage output. And now Nicoract from here, I imagine, is going to be forced into a follow-up 2-base all-in. Similar to what Honmono was forced to do. I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls the boys a second time.
I would love to see that, but this time with a couple of upgrades with him, you know, but... Concussive Shells, that's the name of that upgrade. Stim, more importantly. And I appreciate that he's actually, you know, scanning his opponent, trying to make sure what PAPI has to defend.
Yeah, exactly. Just scans just to confirm, okay, the gases are being taken. We have full saturation. We still don't have any Colossi. We don't have any splash damage. And Nicoract has to make a choice here. Again, we still don't see a 3rd CC. We just have continued production. We are going to be hitting a timing here with Stim and Combat Shields, which is quite good. But again, there's no way we get a 3rd from here, right? There's no way.
There can't be. If there was going to be a 3rd, it would be halfway done by now. At this point, Nicoract can still win by pulling the boys and just having a really good push. PAPI's army is getting to the point where it will easily counter Nicoract, but it's not there yet.
Smudge, because the Observer sees everything, by the way. PAPI sees that the boys are being pulled once again. He's going to be getting ready back at home. We have a stasis trap. We have our shield batteries. Oh, PAPI's actually looking to meet the army. And he misses it a little bit here. Uh-oh.
I'm not sure if giving up that high ground is really the best idea regardless, and Nicoract has now bamboozled PAPI a little bit. Nice concave of Zealots, but the SCVs are taking a lot of the damage over there. Tank does go down, and that's definitely a little bit worrisome right now, but there's nothing to stop the Bio from getting on top of the rest of this army. Very well-placed feedbacks from the High Templar, and with that Stasis Ward, I think PAPI has just about secured his game number 1.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the Stasis, maybe Nicoract would have been able to break through the army, but GG gets called. PAPI takes the first game.
And all he had to do was defend.
Pretty much. GG, well played. Again, he had full vision of both move outs. If you remember, the Oracle tagged the army the first time, and the Observer saw the army the second time. So he was fully aware of what was coming. He wasn't too greedy taking up. He didn't go for a Robotics Bay or anything like that. He was playing it cool, calm, and collected. Very nice defense from PAPI.
Yeah. That bamboozlement was probably the start of his advantage, but then he just made sure he never lost it.
Oh yeah.
It's the worst feeling in the world, I gotta tell you, lad. As a Terran player, if you you're putting everything into your push, and you're like, okay, it's gotta be Colossus. And you set it all up perfectly, and all of a sudden, oh right,
Yeah.
this was a possibility.
Exactly. Like, I mean, props to PAPI for, again, not falling for that, for respecting the fact that he got scouted. I'm pretty sure that came into play, that affected his decision making there.
And with that, we're going to be moving on to Cosmic Sapphire for game number 2 in this best of 5 grand finals. We're in the bottom right-hand corner map, sweating all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. Playing some mind games here, declaring GLHF. I mean, but so does PAPI. Yo, it's intense. What does it mean? Yeah, try to throw each other off. No, that's probably not what happened.
Everyone, it's getting late here in Singapore again. What apologize.
It's almost 10 p.m. I haven't eaten. All I had to eat today was a corn.
Half a corn.
Piece of corn. Half a corn. It's
PAPI thinks
anyway, going for a proxy, a return player from Russia representing Side Storm. He is Nicoract. Double gas.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire, we have the Polish Protoss player himself. He is once again in blue, representing Infernales Esports. It is PAPI. You were calling it. We have 2 gases here. I'm curious as to what exactly this proxy is going to be, because there's not enough room here for a tech lab, which I assumed we were going to
float into the main.
Is he going to float it into the main?
Not yet, but soon.
Would you have the probe here across map confirming that the Rax is missing? He's looking to try and figure out where that Rax is, already checking the natural and soon to be the 3rd base. But yeah, it looks like maybe Nicoract isn't going to commit too hard with this. Yep, factory is at home, not across the map. Just like you, I was hoping that the factory would be thrown here and we would see like a float into the main.
An add-on swap or for tanks, or maybe even just mines waddling into the mineral line. But yeah, Nicoract, sorry, did decide to go with the more conservative version of this build.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit more conservative. The first Reaper gets in, almost gets surrounded, hasn't gone to probe yet, but there we go. He comes back and he will get one.
Really good target firing coming out from it, and this is really the advantage of proxying your Reaper. I mean, it takes that much longer for a Stalker to come out and defend everything.
Yeah, 3 probes already going down. The bunker is done as well. It's in the mineral line, which means it will disrupt mining. It's going to force a shield battery. Again, a very nice start here for Nicoract. And a very uncommitted proxy is actually going for a 2nd Reaper to try and dive on in.
Yeah, he's targeting down the shield battery, which is definitely an interesting choice, but we'll see how this ends up for him.
Yeah, it's getting surprisingly low. With the 3rd Reaper, he's going to have an option here. He could try and use all 3 to DPS down that shield battery, or use 1 to draw away the attention of Stalkers going to the main base and then split up the army of PAPI. Yeah, regardless, he did commit to that 3rd Reaper.
Yeah, he's going to have to utilize it one way or another. We're picking up a couple of probes here and there, may as well. Well, that's good of a use of your Reaper as any, I think, but yeah, this is starting to get cleaned up. Overcharge got popped, though.
Oh my god.
Moral victory, if nothing else.
Yeah, overcharge. Meanwhile, both Reapers get taken out as well, so both players end up trading a little bit. 3rd Reaper sneaks into the main base, and another probe falls. Oh my god.
Boy. This is starting to stack up a little bit. 5 probes. He's ahead, but not by that much.
Yeah, there's some nice damage. I do think that both those Reapers were left a little bit idle, a little bit needlessly, so a little bit of a feels bad man there for Nicoract. Meanwhile, across the map, we are transitioning into a bit of a wind mine drop, but this is scouted by a random probe.
But you know what hasn't been scouted, like the armory.
Ooh, we don't know how committed this drop is going to be. And I also don't know if PAPI was looking at that probe at the time. Right now, forced to recall to deal with the Reaper.
Yeah, it sets himself up pretty well to deal with them drop 2.
Yeah,
or not.
He is in between the bases. Robo is on the way, but I'm getting a little bit of deja vu. PAPI may be a little bit horrified by this, because he did lose to On Mono doing something very similar to this.
Pretty much exactly this, but without the, but with a little bit less of a commitment. Robo is almost finishing up, but a couple of Widow Mines. Okay, one Widow Mine does get cleaned up. This other mine, no! Will not get that juicy connection that it needs. Nicoract, it feels like a little bit like his instincts are taking over. I mean, after the shot goes off, he immediately unborrows, but there really wasn't a need for him to just yet.
Yeah, but you know what? We have a follow-up drop as well. One probe is going to go down. Only one.
Ooh!
He gets the observer.
Yo! There's not going to be any mining from this natural base for a while.
We'll see. We'll see. We have another observer on the way. That was honestly so lucky. I mean, I say lucky, but he also scanned. So yeah, I imagine
he targeted it.
Yeah, he did target it, and one more shot's going to go off.
By default, the Widow Mine will target the Stalkers. I'm hoping Nicoract up. He re-targets and gets a nice juicy clump of probes. Just like that, he finds himself ahead. Even the Liberator here in the main base to just pick off a couple more.
PAPI finally is going to have some room to breathe. Finally, with his third Nexus, he can chill, make some goddamn workers, and keep them alive. But Nicoract does find himself with a bit of a lead here early on. So it doesn't quite force PAPI out of the game like we've seen in the past. But some nice damage.
Yeah, enough damage to at least put himself in an equal position.
I would say ahead here. Don't forget about mules. Yeah. Don't forget about the fact that typically in this matchup, the Protoss player wants to be ahead in economy to be even with that of the Terran. So a really nice start here. Ooh, Liberator finally gets cleaned up. We have another drop being set up here on the way towards that natural base, and Nicoract is looking to hit that timing. +1 stim and combat shields are on the way.
And they're all going to hit hard and fast, is what I say. PAPI, I have a feeling he was planning to go for something a little bit more like a game number 1 when it comes to his Robo, when it comes to getting a Robo Bay, but he knows that with the position he's in, he can't really afford to transition and have enough defenses to survive the follow-up push. Yeah. So instead, he is going for more charge slots.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You know, going for or trying to get into more of a Stormcross style. Meanwhile, those Stalkers they blink forward. They do get one stray tank.
Which is a nice pickoff, definitely, but it's to be determined whether or not those Stalkers were worth it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, why was that tank so vulnerable? Because the Marines were across map. They get cleaned up as well, not without getting 6 probe kills as well, keeping the economy of PAPI down. And now Nicoract is going for his push. He is 1 tank down, don't get me wrong, so this isn't going to be as powerful. And does he commit? Because he actually has a third behind this. He's actually macroing.
Yeah, I'm looking at the army supply, and I thought, oh, Nicoract is in a fantastic position to go for a push, but then I realized that, hang on, that bio count doesn't look very beefy. What's going on? Most of his supplies in medevacs.
Yeah, we got 3 medevacs, 3 tanks, and the rest is bio. He does have a third base behind this, so he's not all in by any means. He doesn't have to pull the boys or anything crazy like that. The move out barely gets spotted by this observer. PAPI moves in position, has enough energy for some force fields, doesn't have a shield battery ready.
And that's probably the most worrying thing right now. Stim to win is what Nicoract says, and sideways 1-1 is what the scoreboard will say.
GG. I mean, you were talking about that supply disparity and how Nicoract, that would be a good time for a push. Even though he lost the tank, like, he was still far enough ahead. Like, sure, PAPI that entire time was, like, kind of keeping up in the worker count, but, like, all that money was being spent in rebuilding his economy instead of, like, bolstering his army and taking up, right?
Sometimes it only takes 1 Widow Mine shot. And it wasn't that obvious that that's what it was this game, but as it went on, the effects of those 9 lost workers really started to stack up.
Yeah, you called the rails, what, 15 in total? Was 21?
Something like that, yeah.
That was a lot of probes. Oh god, and now we are getting into our next game here. Gonna be game number 3, Inside and Out. Unfortunately, tonight we still haven't casted a game on Waterfall. Still missing.
That's the one that we're missing from our collection, yeah. Ace match, let's go. No, I mean, it's a TvP. That probably isn't going to be Waterfall. But maybe there is.
Maybe.
In dream. We can dream indeed as we continue our best of 5 series now on Inside and Out and Outside and In. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, swinging all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. We, of course, have our red Terran player coming out from the land of Russia. He is going to be representing Storm Gaming, PSG, and old mate KJ as well. I just found out the other day, actually. We have the same birthday, KJ and I. He is Nicoract.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Inside and Out, we have the Polish Protoss player himself representing Infernales Esports. It is PAPI.
Counting once again.
Yeah, we've had a bit of a wild series. I think something that we can both agree with, though, is that even in the first game that Nicoract lost, it felt like he was in the driver's seat. Like he was kind of dictating the pace of our series so far.
Without a doubt. He was in the driver's seat. He just wasn't anticipating a roadblock up ahead.
Well, yeah, he just drove right into a wall, you know. It's
yeah,
but he was driving.
But he drove. But he was driving. Yeah.
Yeah. He may have been under the influence, but you know, he was behind the wheel. Yeah.
Unfortunately, in game 1, Jesus wasn't there as well. But in game 2, though, they were at least co-driving.
To everyone in the chat, drink responsibly and do not drink and drive, please. Chaos Fate.
Chaos Fate doesn't drive. No, wait, he does drive. He drives and he takes pictures with his phone at the same time. God damn it.
Shaking my head.
I'm probably thinking of somebody else.
I think you are. I don't know what you're on about.
I'm thinking of a different Peruvian. Definitely not Chaos Fate.
I think you're thinking of a clip that I sent you back in the day. I
am thinking of a clip that you sent me, I think. No, I'm thinking of a picture.
A picture?
Why not? Yeah.
Okay.
No. I'm thinking of a clip you sent me.
Meanwhile, do you have
some for good reason.
Do you have a standard opener? The first Reaper comes across the map. Already 2 probes going down. Can we get a third? Up.
We can, but we won't. Not if this adept has anything to say about that.
Yeah, he gets swatted away as this time in this game we don't have a Twilight Council opener with Blink. We have Let's Stargate.
Oh, okay. So maybe some oracles finally gonna be thrown down here. It's gonna be, I don't know, we see PAPI do this quite a bit against Han Mono in both, I think, game number 1 and number 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, game number 2 was the game where he proxy gated. So I'm not sure if this is necessarily PAPI's preferred style in PvT, or if it's just, you know, something a little bit safer for him.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Like, there was some really great scouting there by Nicoract, I must add. With his Reaper, he didn't just see the building, he was also able to confirm the first unit being made as well, just barely. He was able to confirm the Oracle, so he knows that there's no weird, like, Phoenix open or anything. And he's doing something crazy as well. There's something about these players. There's something about these players that want to go for 2-on-1s in PvT. He has his second Rex hidden here in the back of the main. Can he zone away that Oracle and make sure it doesn't get scattered?
He can! And he will.
That he will. The Oracle gets swatted away again. Because the Cyclone has been revealed, it is going to be a 1-1-1, right? There is no 3 racks or anything crazy like that. But he hasn't seen the second racks, and even with this revelation, he doesn't see what's behind that mineral line.
Okay. See the research, does he? 3 racks is the name of the game right now for Nicoract, but not just any 3 racks. This isn't a 3 racks opening. It was a 1-1-1 opening, which means that by the time he pushes, he's gonna have tanks, he's gonna have stim, he's gonna have +1. He might even have a couple medevacs with him.
May even pull the boys.
He may even pull the boys. He doesn't need to, but he might as well.
Because that's what Terran do in TvP, okay? Yeah, yeah. Like, this is going to hit so hard, especially if it goes unscouted. Again, thankfully, PAPI barely keeps this Oracle alive. And again, this Oracle has a lot of work to do, not just with its revelations, but again, to, even if he doesn't see the production, to just keep an eye on the army, which also is a bit of a tell. There's a lot of Marines being revealed right now, and also hopefully keeping an eye on the move out. Oh.
Nicoract is already getting ready for that move out. He scans one third base location and will confirm, okay, there has to be, the third has to have been taken elsewhere, at least if, you know, PAPI is playing standard, which he is.
Yeah.
2 Twilight Consoles?
PAPI, it's not that late in Europe, but that is a little bit of a misstep here. We do have charge on the way, second.
Get 2 forges.
Yeah, it may have been meant to be a second forge. It may have been meant to be like a Templar Archives. There we go. He does cancel in time. Thank God.
Oh, that's a little bit of refund there, yeah.
But PAPI, for the most part, is playing in the dark right now. At least he's playing it safe. You know, we already have a couple of shield batteries set up. We have energy being banked up. The observer is moving out across the map, and it will spot the army. But will it be too late? Because what an army is it going to be? It's terrifying.
Yeah. Doesn't have medevacts with it yet, though, so doesn't have as much longevity. Nicoract does have to be careful with how he decides to stim. There comes the medevacts, though. And now PAPI is well aware of what's coming his way.
Yeah, the observer did spot the army in the middle of the map. It looks like PAPI's trying to see where it's coming from. It's coming from the left-hand side. Instead, we do have 1 sentry with some force field. We have a handful of zealots, but charge isn't done. They're snowbots.
Those tanks do get a very nice shot right on top of most of these zealots. Nice pickup using the warp prism, but I'm not entirely convinced it's going to be enough. Charge is a couple of seconds away, but there are no zealots to make use of it.
Exactly, and I love that the overcharge, oh my god, is being waited out. The overcharge shield battery goes down immediately. You see the Marines stimming on forward, the base is going to go down, charge finishes, and now PAPI, he just dives in.
I'm loving the target firing from Nicoract. He's making sure that he doesn't take any friendly fire from the tanks. And this third should go down. I say should, I say should, I say should.
Yeah, with the reinforcements, we have a full surround here. The army does end up crumbling. The tank barely survives in the end. GG gets called, and Nicoract takes game number 3.
He didn't take the third base, though.
He did.
And that's something that... What?
That was a third for Nicoract.
No, I mean, he didn't kill them.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. It's late. It's late over here in Tejas.
It's fine. It's fine. GG, well played there again. Despite going for an Oracle opener, PAPI was in the dark for a very long time. He wasn't able to figure out what was happening, what was going to be coming his way. Very unfortunate that the Oracle was hunted down by the Cyclone. Props to Nicoract for making that happen, for hunting it down and making sure that PAPI was going to be working with as little information as possible.
Yeah, I guess it really goes to show how adept Nicoract is when it comes to just denying that information outright. He was anticipating the Oracle, and so he got the Cyclone in the position to deal with that. He was just on top of everything, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. He was on top of everything, and now we'll see if it all ends here and now, because one of our players is 1 game away from becoming a Sparkling Tuna Cup champion.
A brand new champion at that, but we'll see. We still have 1 map over here to kind of determine the rest of this series. I guess I'm not sure where I was going with that. Data under the sea. Oh no! In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player coming down from the land of Russia. He is, of course, going to be representing Storm Gaming. Oh, mate, KJ. I see you. I think. I may be hallucinating. He is Nicoract.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Data Under the Sea, we have the Polish Protoss player himself. He is blue, representing Infernalis Esports. It is PAPI.
I'm hoping we get the ace match light. If for nothing else, then to have the hopes of seeing Waterfall tonight.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I would love to see an ace match as well. Hopefully we get there. Hopefully, no bias, no bias. Also, I want to just quickly mention, Yaku, what were you singing at the start? I still don't.
The Little Mermaid song.
It's not the what song in the Little Mermaid?
I can show you the world. That song. That song.
That's not from the Little Mermaid.
Is it not?
God damn it. That's what you were singing.
That's when she gets legs, right?
That's when she gets the legs, yeah. Yeah, and he shows her the land, the
wait,
land
but she's
world.
mute when she gets the legs.
She is mute when she gets the legs.
I might be misremembering this. It's been a while since I saw that movie.
Shaking my head. Oh, God. Yeah, for those who don't know, we have a bit of a meme here. We are under the sea, of course. We do have crabs. You know, Sebastian is out here. Well, I'm sure we'll stumble upon him at some point. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's magical. It's magical down here. And it's a whole new world.
Yeah. With It's a fantastic point of view.
Be a man. Raging fire. Yeah, Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's when, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Remember when the mermaids had to fight off the hyenas?
Yeah.
It's my favorite part.
Yeah. Then the Decepticons joined in as well at some point. It was crazy.
And the Power Rangers showed up.
It was really a pivotal movie for Shia LaBeouf's career.
Yeah.
Before we get too out of control here, it is a Twilight Council opener from PAPI, so switching things up quite a bit here. He's not going to be looking to get that scouting information with any kind of oracle, and with his opening couple of units, he's going to be able to at least force denied mining here at the natural base of Nicoract. We kind of glossed over it, but this is a pretty big deal.
And the 2-1 coming out from the side of Nicoract, able to hide it once again, but these Marines are a little bit of a tell. Meanwhile, Nicoract, I mean, he hasn't scouted the Twilight Council yet, has he?
Yeah, he hasn't really been able to get too much eyes on. No, never mind. Okay, with his initial scouting Reaper, he confirmed the Twilight Council, so he knows. Pretty interesting that he opted to make a Cyclone anyway, so maybe he didn't click on it, maybe he just wanted to be safe. But yeah, like, Nicoract, I say Nicoract, Tom Monin did it as well. Like, these 2-on-1 openers have been really popular amongst our players tonight in this matchup.
Yeah, the matchup that I think originally it was made for, but you know, with the meta shifts and whatnot, it's having a really great effect.
Yeah, to be fair, this is a different variant of it, because we did see the tech lab on the starport instead, so it looks like Nicoract prioritized the Raven. I imagine that's because he scouted the Twilight Council opener, so to adjust his build and to cover something like DTs, he went for the Raven instead, eventually working towards his Metavacs.
Yeah, this will delay his push, but not by that much. And of course, like I said, he has protection available if he needs to. He may be able to disable maybe, I don't know, an Archon or something just in case. Anti-armor missiles and auto turrets are, of course, always useful.
Yeah, but before that comes into play, PAPI has 4 gates. 4-gate Blink Stalker is the name of the game here for PAPI. He's had enough of being on the receiving end of Nicoract's aggression. It is time for him to be the aggressor. And because of this opener, we have a tank on the low ground, but not on the high ground.
Yeah, almost nothing here to defend over in the high ground. The boys have been pulled to try to keep Stim alive and researching. It got low, but the tech lab was able to survive, and Stim will be researched. The Raven surprisingly still alive.
Wow, Stim survives, the Raven survives. PAPI isn't done though. He rotates here to the low ground. The tank is not here. The workers are going down. Nicoract has to respond here. And again, he has to be careful not to lose too much. The Raven!
Was looking a little bit exposed here, but thankfully Nicoract was able to pull away just in time. Stim finished up! And now it's time for Nicoract to turn the tables a little bit on his Protoss opponent.
Oh, exactly. But you know what? The Prism is still alive. You see another warp in of units. Behind this, PAPI is taking a third base. He's not all in. He's expanding, but he has to be careful. If he loses too much momentum, if he loses too many of these Stalkers, he will die to a counterattack.
All PAPI needs to do here is to keep Nicoract back. He has the map control. He needs to maintain it long enough for his third base to finish up, for his and start mining, for his Robo Bay to finish up, and for a couple of Colossus or Disruptors to be produced.
Yeah, exactly. Just has to buy time. Meanwhile, the first wave of medevacs are now out. Bearing in mind that combat shields was denied. Raven does get picked off as well. PAPI finding a lot of value here with these Stalkers.
Yeah, he's just continuing to make sure that Nicoract splits up his army over and over again, and whatever it is split. And PAPI is getting a couple of key kills here on Marauders. He would love to reset the tank count, but hasn't quite been able to yet.
Yeah, exactly. The tanks have been kept alive for the time being here for Nicoract. Meanwhile, he has to make a choice. Looks like he wants to go for maybe a bit of a drop. Here we go. The Stalkers move in once again, but to only face the volley of these tanks. It's okay, though, because PAPI, his third base, is now fully saturated. The first Colossus is on the way. Extended Thermal Lance is on the way. He's surviving.
Any advantage that Nicoract had with this 2-on-1 build or opening has now been mitigated. They are meeting on equal footing, but it's still pretty terrifying if you're the Protoss player.
It is.
Let me tell you, the Terran army is still very, very strong.
I mean, again, Nicoract is pretty all in. Like, there is no third CC. He goes for the double scan. He's like, okay, where's your army? He sees a Colossus, and that may make his heart sink a little bit. It's going to be so difficult to dive on top of this. Again, it's still possible here for Nicoract, but he's got to make some magic happen here with his push.
Yeah, if he had the Raven still around, he wouldn't be hesitating at all, but now he does need to be a little bit more careful with how he engages. So Colossus gets targeted down immediately! Right out in the open. Extended Thermal Lance was not done, unfortunately for PAPI, and I'm staring at this Robo facility like...
it's so exposed. The Colossus, if it comes out, it's not going to come out. It goes down. There will not be a Colossus, only Blink Stalkers.
And that is nowhere near enough to deal with the Stim Bio and the tank. GG is called. Nicoract will be our brand new champion here for the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 23. And we were worried for a sec for him.
GG, well played. I was concerned. I cannot believe that Stim wasn't cancelled. It would have been a completely different game. Stim is such a crucial upgrade, and it was one volley away. It was like a couple of Stalker shots away from being denied. And I can't believe he was able to keep it alive. He was so quick to respond with the repair, with his SCVs, to respond with his army to keep it all alive. And we saw he had less than half the workers of PAPI. He was 100% all in. 100% all in. He had to end the game then and there. And as soon as he dove on that Colossus, oh my god, like that was it. That's all he needed to do.
Yeah, that was kind of the signal from saying, okay, Nicoract has an army advantage, is saying there is absolutely no way Nicoract is losing this engagement. And with that, he wins the game, he wins the series, he wins the entire Sparkling Tuna Cup number 23. Very well deserved here. He was not quite the player who I was expecting to win it all when I saw the bracket tonight, but I'm glad he made it all the way.
Oh yeah. I'm glad he made it all the way as well. He had a lot of very entertaining games as well. Like, I thought after Hon Mono was knocked out, I was like, oh, now we're just going to see some standard TvP, like more macro games, like what we expect to see. But Nicoract, no, it's almost as if he harnessed some of Hon Mono's power a little bit. We saw just hyper aggression from him, a lot of 2-base pushes, some 3-base oriented push builds as well, like that had like a third base to fall back on, but like he was so aggressive, and yeah, he just never let his opponent breathe.
I'm gonna be stealing a couple of these builds.
Yeah. Why not? Very impressive play there by a European Terran player. And I also want to give a special shout out to PAPI, because our PAPI, like, this is his first time playing in Sparkling Tuna Cup, and for him to make it all the way to the grand finals, like, that's also like nothing to scoff at. Like, that's really impressive as well.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Royal Road, but yeah, it's like I said, a really good finish. He will be getting a payoff tonight as
Yeah.
he is a finalist. And yeah, I mean, I guess we do always need at least one Polish Protoss player to make it to the finals, but I was not expecting it to be PAPI, especially not after Homono 2-0'd Geralt.
Yeah, and to be fair, like, I don't want to remind you too much, but that Honmono versus Papi series, you know, if he
It
had
got
only if he had only focus fired that shield battery overcharge, you know, like it's could have been a different world, could have been a TvT. It's
A whole new world.
awful. Shaking my head. Have you ever even seen The Little Mermaid? Have you?
I've seen The Little Mermaid.
But with that, GG, well played. I hope everyone enjoyed their time here. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, this is a weekly tournament. Sparkling Tuna Cup is a unique weekly tournament that is open to all regions and is at a time zone where players from all over the world come and participate. Players from India, Southeast Asia, North America, Latin America, Europe, South Korea, they all come together. And yeah, that's what makes it a little bit different from some of these other weekly online tournaments.
Yeah, it's not the best time from 4 players in the Americas, but
Yeah.
nevertheless, we always get at least 1 or 2 degens who decide to stay up.
No, speaking of Degen, I saw Trigger in the chat earlier, you know, like
Yeah,
Funada Trigger, man. I'm sure he was looking to be a part of the tournament as well. If maybe he hadn't, I don't know if he slept in, or maybe there's something, maybe another show match going on, but he's also been a part of this tournament pretty regularly. Yeah. Yeah, he's even a champion as well. You're not wrong. Yeah.
And with that, yeah, I guess we'll encourage anybody of any league and region to participate in the Sparkling Tuna Cup if you are interested. Our next tournament, however, will not be open to players who are above 4.9k MMR because it's going to be the Masters 1 Open this Friday. Wait, let me double check that because I know we're missing one this month.
Yeah, I'm sure it is gonna be this Friday.
Yeah, it's this Friday.
Yeah, there you go. Meanwhile, oh my god, as we're wrapping things up, massive shout out to Grizzly in the chat, fellow StarCraft streamer in Spanish. Gracias.
Yeah, we were about to rate you, Grizzly, but we appreciate the reversal on that.
Yes, gracias. Bienvenidos todos, bienvenidos from Grizzly's stream. We are just wrapping things up here, and yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to you as well, Yaku, because I know it's really late in Singapore.
It's not that late.
Trying to give an excuse for your for earlier. I know it's getting pretty late. I know you haven't eaten yet.
Hey, I had half a corn.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Yaku. If people want to see more of you, I know you've been streaming a little bit more frequently recently. Where can they find you?
Yeah, twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1. I haven't been really good at streaming this particular week because I was trying to reset my sleep schedule, but I might stream tomorrow, depending on what time I wake up, I guess. Fingers crossed. Twitter.com @Empore is where I will announce when I go live, and amongst other things, !Discord in the chat. That brings you to the Cranky Ducklings Discord server. The bot will announce when I'm live, if I forget to announce myself. I'm there. Light is there. Kuro is there. See, yeah, everyone's there, man. If you're not there, then you're not everyone. Which, respect. But you want to be there.
Yeah, everyone is there in the Discord, so follow Yaku on his personal channel. Meanwhile, you can follow me on my personal channel. I have been streaming regularly throughout the past couple of months, actually, almost every single day. So if you're interested in my journey to Masters 2, it's been a rocky road. We had a really strong, powerful start where we peaked at like 4.485 MMR. And then we've just been on a downhill spiral ever since. My ZVT win rate is like at 38%. It's the lowest it's ever been, actually. It's not. I'm in a weird moment in my life where my ZVP is higher than my ZVT, and I never thought I'd be here. It's not good.
It sounds like you need a practice partner.
It sounds like I need
Asher and Milk.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be.
I'm definitely gonna get some customs in with Asher at some point. I know Demi has really been wanting to give me some pointers as well. I mean, shout out to everyone who's been really supportive. But yeah, you can follow me there if you're interested. But if you only want some of the casting, some of our tournaments, then follow us here on the Cranky Ducklings. You know, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, we're all over the place. We upload VODs daily on our YouTube channel, so if you can't tune in live, you can tune into our VODs, and we have so much StarCraft available on YouTube. Everything that we cast is all there. We've got thousands of videos, hundreds of hours, thousands of hours even. So yeah, if you're a fan of StarCraft, we got you.
Videos at this point, yeah. Thousands of hours. And you know what? If you can't wait for the VOD to be cut up like we normally do when it comes to our YouTube uploads, it will be available on Twitch for roughly 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
After that, we're sending it straight to YouTube.
Yeah, it's all there. It's all there. I'm curious. Can I actually get the numbers on this? I can't quite.
Ooh, I think you can. You might have to be the owner.
Yeah. Regardless, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Stick around. We're gonna give someone a raid. We can't raid Grizzly, unfortunately.
So we have to find somebody else now.
Give some love to another European Terran player, an up-and-coming player, someone who didn't play in today's tournaments but has played in the past. Give some love to Cuckoo.
Yeah, called it.
There you go. Until then, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Yaku, do you have anything else you want to add before we head off?
We can rule the city.
Spider-Man. No one is going to understand that. No one is. We'll see you guys on Friday. Ciao.
Bella.